Good evening, Miami. Welcome to another episode of Fast Break. It looks like I'm reunited with some of the gangs. Like this is like we have some episodes we don't. We have some people coming through we don't. So today, joined by my brother from the West Coast, Justin. How you doing, my man?
This just in, 5 minutes within Dylan Brooks's Rockets debut, he's ejected. Exactly how I thought it would start.
How do you get ejected from preseason game number one, man?
He
There's
knocked into Daniel Tice's special spot.
yeah, oh, no. Low blow to start. Neil, my brother from San Antonio. What's up, man? How you doing?
Doing good, man. I watched the game a little bit. Happy with some of the things I'm seeing. You know, things are going good over here. Finally getting some fall weather, which is really nice.
Oh man, some fall weather for Wembanyama. How do you say that? Have they come up with something like that?
Yeah, baby.
Wembanyama?
You're walking around and there's so many Wemby jerseys everywhere, and I got season tickets this year, so
Perfect.
I'm going to be at Wemby's first game. It's going to be interesting to see that, but I'm also going to the preseason game on Friday.
Yeah, for that heat.
Excited for that. I was hoping that Dame was going to be there. I bought the tickets to this game thinking Dame was going to be there. I bought them at Dame prices, unfortunately.
I'm pretty sure a lot of people are under your boat.
It is what it is. We'll talk about it. It is what it is.
Whoa! Now that you brought it up, I was able to react with it when I did East 10th Street Boys a few weeks ago. We didn't do a fast break episode there. Our schedule was conflicting. I had meetings, so I couldn't make it in time. But I do want to get your take, and Neil, since you brought it up, I'll get you your first response. It was a foregone conclusion that we're gonna get Dame, including myself. Um, Obviously, in hindsight, you saw the reports, you saw the back and forth, you saw that the effort was there from Miami side. There was effort there from Dame. He stated he wanted to be here. Obviously, we all get surprised. He ends up in Milwaukee. So I know we talked about when you first heard of the Dame request, the trade request. Where were you when you found out the actual Dame trade? What are your thoughts? If you could follow up with that.
This isn't. It wasn't honestly. It wasn't like it was when I found out LeBron left the Heat. Like I remember exactly where I was and what I was doing.
We're in a different state right now. Yeah, we're in a different state.
It wasn't like that for me. But I really thought that we were going to get Dame. I really thought it was a foregone conclusion, like most people did. But I think I underestimated the fact that Joe Cronin was somebody who was willing to cut his nose to spite his face. And you really can't deal with somebody like that. You're never going to, when you have somebody who is going to willingly enter into a worse deal than one that they would get from you just because they're petty, you can't, you're never going to win that situation. That person it's too far gone. And I think that, like, the longer it went on, I feel like maybe we should have started to realize, hey, this guy is really not gonna do it. He's not gonna trade him. And as hard as it was losing out on Dame Lillard, he's a special player, and I really felt like for a couple of years there that he was destined to be a Heat. He is no longer going to be a Heat ever, and it is a bit unfortunate that once again Pat Riley, struck out. I don't put this one on him as much as I put
this one.
The other ones on him. This one, Cronin, again, you're dealing with somebody that is going to cut their nose to spite their face, and that's not on him. You know what I mean? Like, if all things being equal, I think he would have got this thing done. He just found that one SOB that just, you just can't deal with. So it is what it is. I look at the team now, and while Damian Lillard would have given me a lot more confidence that this team would have repeated their past success, which is NBA Finals, I'm still not selling out on this team. Okay, I still like the depth on this team. I think the move to get Josh Richardson back is underrated. I think Thomas Bryant is underrated, and his impact on this team is underrated. And Tyler Hero, man, he's got something to prove, and while I think he's still a bit compromised defensively, if he's able to stay healthy and produce offensively, which I know he's capable of doing, I really think that this team can contend again. You know, I want to see Jovic take that next step, see what that's like. He had a good summer. Hope he can build on that. And Jaime Jaquez, while I don't anticipate him getting a ton of minutes in the playoffs, just knowing how the Heat treat rookies, um, maybe he surprises us and he can become a player that can be a serviceable rotation piece. I mean, maybe he will get some playoff minutes. This team is definitely a playoff team. Anybody that thinks that we're going to be below a 4 seed or a 5 seed is
It's
on crack. So I think that's a bit they're being a bit ridiculous. So no, while I'm a bit disappointed that we missed out on Dame Lillard and other players that probably would have come to us if we had been able to secure Dame Lillard, I'm still hopeful that this team gets something done. And maybe there are other moves that they're going to want to make, or maybe they're not. I mean, I tend to think that this is probably it. I don't think there's anything that they're going to do, but maybe they are still looking for other players. But we'll
yeah.
see.
You and before I go to you, Justin, and obviously to touch upon what you just mentioned, the depth, and this is quality depth. This team is much better spread, and much more even than they were last year. Last year we were very guard heavy. We didn't have height. We didn't have that much athleticism at the 4, at the 5, aside from Bam. Now you got this year a team that you have your starting lineup potentially everybody's above 6'5". So you got probably Lowry coming off the bench, and we'll get into a little bit of rotations later. But I do think that there still might be a move with Lowry. If he does start, I do
Okay.
believe his best role should
Yeah.
be coming off the bench with that second unit, possibly with Jaime, which is a 23-year-old rookie or 24. I'm not sure. Where he's one thing about Jaime Jaquez is his footwork is elite. When I call him like the
It
white
is.
Jimmy, the people call him the Mexican Jimmy. Like he's like a veteran in a rookie's body, so he can slide right in. It kind of reminds me when Hero came in. People like I think Hero, and obviously this and I can attest to because I have evidence for it. But this whole off season, obviously Hero went along with it. He had some assurance from the front office, as you just mentioned, as the trade was what the rumors were going on to the last point that the Miami brass had an idea that the trade wasn't going to happen. Hero was given assurance, and he's worked his ass off this summer to prove everybody wrong. Hero's one of those players that takes everything that you take. He doesn't take it personal. He uses it as fuel because he wants to be here, and this is a good problem to have. Usually, when you have a player involved in these trade rumors, first and foremost, your question is like, my only question, and Justin, I'll follow up with you here, is the Portland trade package that they got in return. I obviously understood what they were going to try to do with Drew Holiday, which was get more ammunition. So you got it with the Celtics. You got an extra 2 first-round picks. You got more pick swaps. You ended up getting Robert Williams. You ended up getting DeAndre Ayton, which they were still going to get Ayton if they traded with the Heat. Now I just started to sit down and compare, and I'm like, okay, yeah, you got a decent package for Dame, with his contract size, his age, etc. He doesn't want to be there. But how do you not find Hero or Jovic or you're trying to build over there? Because you're going to eventually move Jeremy Grant. You already acquired Aiden. So my whole question was, I'm like, what don't they like about their game? So sometimes I've used this phrase a lot. Sometimes the best move is the one that you don't make. I understand the Dame Lillard situation. There's still going to be some growing pains in Milwaukee. People think it's going to be an easy transition. There's still going to be growing pains where you might see Milwaukee struggle a little bit in the beginning, especially defensively. You're going to see the Celtics. Porzingis looks healthy. He's moving much better on the floor. He's more agile, but defensively is still a weakness for them. They have no real interior defense. So you can pinpoint back and forth, but before I do any of that, Justin, we haven't talked since the Dame trade happened. I believe we haven't, right? I want to make sure.
I texted you right as
You
it
text me.
happened,
Yeah.
and that
And
was
then
really it.
perfect. We didn't do any on live reaction. So I want to get your on live reaction. How did you feel about all this going down once you find out everything that was happening behind the scenes?
when they started reporting that they're not even talking to the Miami Heat, I knew that it wasn't going to happen at that point. And they were just being petty, like, no, 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 the player empowerment, we're going to push that down. And we're going to send Dame to where we can get where we feel the best package for our rebuilding team. And they end up going into a three-way with the Suns, bringing back some nice pieces with Aiton and all those guys. And so, look, I think they're just trying to bring Scoot along with some younger guys who have played a couple years, who have a lot of talent, and then some seasoned veterans who can lead him. And that's pretty smart. Now, as it turns out for Dame, I think you're right. It is going to start a little slow.
Mhm.
They'll have some growing pains. Beginning of the season, you might see him lose some games that look very winnable. Hint for betting, if you're a bettor, that there are some games out there that look like they're a surefire win for the Bucks that they're not going to win. But also, I do want to say this does fit Dame's persona a bit more, sending him to a smaller city like Milwaukee as opposed to the flashiness of Miami. That just never felt like Dame in the end. Yeah, we would have made it work either way in Miami, but it just never felt like it was his thing. He never felt Miami. If that's
Fair. I think honestly it was more of the perfect basketball fit for him because ideally, yeah, he's going to be great with Giannis. He's going to be great in Milwaukee. That's Dame Lillard.
Yeah, he's going to be awesome.
But you feel that he would have slid right into Miami and it would have been the perfect scenario.
Oh yeah,
because you got Jimmy, time frame, defensively, Bam, which NBA GM survey today, I don't even think Bam got a vote for the best defensive player in the year, which I cannot comprehend whatsoever. I don't understand. I can understand. This is the part that bothers me, and I'm not saying this because I'm from Miami. I can understand the media, the national media bias against Miami. Why? Because the people think we're flashier, we think we're the best, and this and that. Okay, that's fine. The Heat organization does not leak any information, doesn't talk to national media as much. They're very high on their local reporters, which I respect. But you have to have a point where at this point, Neil, this is like you're just lying to yourself. Like there is no way there's not at least another GM in the league that thinks Bam Adebayo is not one of the best defensive players in the NBA.
I think unfortunately there's and I think this is a reality that the media is very regional now, and they're
but this is GMs. These are NBA GMs. That's the crazy part because Eric Spoelstra got voted the best head coach, best in-game adjuster, best defensive schemes. These are NBA GMs doing that. They do those little annual polls that you can't vote for yourself, obviously. But I'm like, it's impossible to me that there's out of 31 GMs that Bam didn't even get one vote. It's impossible.
I mean, it is. I agree with you. Like, there's no way he guards all 5 positions at an elite level. I don't understand it either. You know. But Bam's just going to prove him wrong, you know. I mean,
that's another chip.
He's just going to prove him wrong again. That's just what it is. What it is. I mean, put a button on it. It sucks about Dame, and I do think that he's going to do really well with Giannis. But some of the moves surrounding that trade, like Time Lord no longer being with the Celtics, like that was amazing. Okay, and did they get Drew Holiday? They got Drew Holiday, right?
Yeah, the Celtics got Drew Holiday. Yeah, they traded Robert Williams.
So wing defenders, it's going to be great, but their interior defense is going to be terrible. You know,
horrible.
I mean, because they lost Grant Williams, they lost Time Lord. You know, I mean, who do they even have now? Like, as an interior, like they've got Kristaps. It's going to be there for 30 games.
They got Horford still, but a much older Horford. So, like I'm saying, offensively, they're going to be dynamic if they can stay healthy. Yeah. But when it comes down to crunch time,
that's Mazzulla's problem, though. He's always been more offense than defense, and he just sold out. He just sold the defense, and that was one of the things that Bam struggled against Time Lord. Like Time Lord was his daddy, and now he's gone. Okay, and it's like Bam should own the Celtics now.
Oh,
he should dominate.
Look, and Justin, I'll ask you because, and I'm like I said, I'm taking my homer hat off. This is not because it's Miami, but I see this team being much more athletic than last year, much more diverse. They're gonna play to their strengths way more. You're gonna see probably Hero average 23, 24 points a game because this team is built for him to be the leading scorer. That's what they need Hero for. You got what to me
Yeah.
was going to be beautiful. Richardson and Butler playing together. Those defensive lines, those lanes are going to be. You're going to have free safeties all over. You got Bam anchoring you. You got Jovic, which is probably going to get minutes. I do believe Jovic will be a rotational player this year. Hawkins as well will crack it. You got Highsmith. Highsmith is taking the jump where it was like that PJ Tucker role. You got Caleb coming off the bench, being that Jimmy off the bench with Hawkins. You got Robinson shooting freely. Lowry should be your backup to keeping that offense, keeping that second unit going unless you move him, and you might move him in the trade deadline. He looks
Richardson, our
healthy,
starting point guard?
huh?
Who's our starting point guard?
Well, there's not going to be a de facto point guard, but the starting backcourt should be Richardson and Hero.
That's what I was thinking, right? Like
Yeah,
Richardson is bringing
yeah.
the ball up.
Most likely,
I didn't like Hero bringing the ball up, so I
no.
would
Look,
Richardson.
Jimmy's gonna have the ball in his hand. Bam is gonna have the ball in his hand. That your starting lineup, most likely, if I go with it, I would go with Richardson, Hero, Butler, Love, and Bam. Love is gonna give you a good 15, 20 minutes a night,
Yeah,
and
that's fine.
and then you get into your rotations with Jaime, with Jovic, with Highsmith, Martin. You have so much potential.
Yeah.
And remember, keep a lookout for these two names. I love them coming out of high school. RJ Hampton, we got him on a two-way deal. Cole Switter, if I'm pronouncing his last name correctly, Justin, correct me if I'm wrong there.
Yeah, Twitter, yeah.
Switter or Swider? Switter? Okay.
Twitter.
I tweeted yesterday. He looks like a Duncan Robinson edit that is unfinished in 2K because they kind of have like the similar facial structure, and he's a flat out rifle man. He can shoot.
I
But
just watched
Justin,
him
oh,
shoot
you just
three.
watch him now? Okay,
Yeah.
dude, that kid's
Yeah.
a stud. We signed him from LA. The Lakers released him this year, I think. So, Justin, your take from afar. How do you feel? I know we've talked about this, the possibility of this team. This kind of feels like a build, like the Nuggets were doing, where you still have veteran presence, but you're building. You've built through the draft. You've added some pieces here and there. It's like more organic build. How do you feel we're going to do this year?
Very solid. Excuse me. Very solid. I see easily 45 to 50 wins.
Mm-hmm.
Easy. They probably could go a little bit higher, 55, 57. But remember that Dame is now in Milwaukee. They have the potential to be a real threat this year. And then Boston will not go away. I know Marcus Smart is gone, so they're retooling up there. Porzingis in, Smart out. So you got to watch what's going on up there. Keep an eye on the Atlanta situation. I don't think they're going to keep this team together throughout the year. Trey Young sounds like he may be on the move, maybe by the deadline.
Wow, that's and it's funny because the build you got up and coming teams like Orlando, OKC in the West. You got Cleveland. Cleveland adding Max Strus should help them. They need a veteran presence. Memphis adding Marcus Smart, Derrick Rose. I think will help in the West. So you got a lot of young squads in the ups. Zion Williamson looks super healthy. He looks like he actually took care of himself. For now, he took care of himself.
Gotta put that there.
Dallas, I believe, and Neil, you're closer to there. I
Yeah.
believe Dallas finally built the right nucleus around Luca to magnify, and you got Luca and Kyrie, so you have a nucleus there defensively where it's more cohesive, and you don't have just like you're not trying to put a square peg into a round hole. Or like those are things that you kind of like saw it coming, and I'm like, can they do it? Can they build at least? This is your chance, okay? Because there are Dallas is a nice market team.
Yeah, it
Houston,
is.
Houston to me is going to take a huge leap. San Antonio, your hometown over there, like the Wembayama obviously speeds up the process a little bit, but you got a young nucleus
I
as
don't think the
well.
Spurs will make the playoffs, but
No,
they're
I
on
don't
the way.
think so.
But I don't think they make the playoffs this year.
They're building the right way.
They've got the first block in place to
They're
build
building
the
the right
team.
way. They are building the right way.
That's a massive block too. Like
Yeah.
that's a
Leonard
massive
just
block.
made another three.
Hey, and
Damn,
Justin,
dude.
for you, the Lakers, I really like what the Lakers did this offseason. They really got a balanced team around LeBron, where LeBron can play that point four, where he doesn't have to have 35, 36 minutes. They can manage his minutes throughout the season. And obviously, AD staying healthy. Like this is one of those years that the NBA still feels like a parity field. Like it's still no really like maybe there's 3 or 4 teams in every conference that you can be like, okay, for sure they're gonna be there. But there's so many
Yeah.
intangibles from 5 to 10 that can take anybody out. So I personally think that health on our side, Miami is much more balanced, and we're gonna play to our strengths this year. They want to play fast. This team seems more athletic, especially from the 4 and the 5s, where we went last year from being super undersized to now everybody in our rotation is 6'5" and above, except Kyle Lowry, which is at 6'1", 6'2". So it's a different type of team. People are gonna talk about, oh, it's a returning team. This isn't the same team from last year, like at all. Just
No.
the Richardson effect, like what you said, the Bryant effect. It gives you different dimensions. So it's still too early to crack rotations, but you can kind of see what Spo's leaning with. And I like what he did to start the game today. Since Jimmy wasn't playing, he went ahead and started Kyle Lowry too, so people couldn't really depict what he's gonna go with. So he just like removed the possibility of you analyzing anything. So and people are gonna look into the game today and be like, oh, why didn't this person play? Why did that? It's part of the process. You're kind of feeling things out. You're feeling your rotations. I'm just excited that basketball season's back. I'm telling you, this is my favorite part of the year where football is back.
I'm really
Basketball
excited.
starting up.
Equinox.
I'm
Sports
really pumped
Equinox.
for this game Friday. NBA games are so much fun,
Oh man,
to be at. I mean, I love going to Dolphin football games. Don't get me wrong. There's something about NBA games, though, man. The way they move, I think they
it's the
just move
back and
better.
forth. It's the back and forth.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
just move better,
yeah.
and it's going to be a
It,
good year. Let's just pray for
it's a
health,
more
y'all.
homey
Pray for
feel. A
health.
more homey feel.
Let's
What
just
and,
pray
and
everybody
Justin,
stays healthy.
I got a concept here, man, because I know that we're talking about it's a little bit off from left field, but I know they keep talking about the Las Vegas expansion, and eventually, when the new TV deal comes up, which I think is like in 2 years, that they're looking. Hopefully, I think Seattle should always have a team. Seattle's
Oh,
the
sure. Yeah.
Sonics should have never left Seattle. We understood that, but how do you feel about a team in Las Vegas? Because
It'd be
to me,
amazing.
it's funny. Right? Like 10 years ago, if I would have told you this a decade ago, that every major sports league had a team in Las Vegas, they would have called us crazy because
Yeah.
Las Vegas was this pariah. Like, no, there's no way with gambling. I'm like, guys, sports are in bed with gambling. Now we just got to make it official. Everybody
Exactly.
makes money, everybody enjoys it. So now my thing is, what do we name the team in Las Vegas? This is a fun one. Like, well, what are your team? You can't go with the Knights because the hockey team,
Yeah, no, the hockey
right?
team. Yeah.
So what teams would you go with? What names?
I mean, I don't
You
know
can't go with the
if you
Aces
want to
either.
mirror
You can. It's true. You can't go with
like
aces.
the WNBA team went with cards,
What aces?
right?
Yeah.
They went with
Yeah.
aces.
By the way, shout out to the Aces.
You
They
know?
look like they may be the best WNBA team ever.
Oh yeah. They for sure. For sure.
Yes, I
Oh
believe the
yeah, for
finals are
sure.
going on
Yeah, it's crazy.
right now.
That's incredible. You see, that's another thing. The WNBA, they don't have a lot of publicity. Like those teams, man. If they start focusing on the way to make them, I don't know if it's a cozier arena or the feel for. I remember going to the first Miami Soul game, and I loved it. But obviously they folded in like in 2 years. But we had, I don't know if you remember the players, Sherry Sam, we had Debbie Black, we had Ruth Riley. Like we had a squad for the Miami Souls. We made the playoffs. But it was kind of like, the start of the WNBA, like 2000 or 2001. But I've always wondered why we never get back into it. Because Golden State is going to get a WNBA team,
That's
which
right. The
power to
Warriors
them, man.
just supported that.
Well, you see, I wonder if they're gonna name it Las Guerreras. That would be a cool. That's a what? Now that's another one, Justin. What can we name the WNBA team in Golden State or in San Francisco?
Hmm.
Dude, so think about what about the Lions?
Lions,
The Lions. Like the MGM
Las
is
Vegas
there.
Lions.
Yeah,
Oh, I
because I
get
was
you.
thinking animal, and you've got MGM there.
Yeah,
So I mean, it's like you can go with that. They've got
Gladiators, or is it
they've
too
got Scorpions. Scorpions could be a
Scorpions?
good
That's
one.
cool.
That's a good one.
That's
Vultures
cool.
could be fun.
Vultures.
You know?
Okay.
Yeah, and
Bandits.
then
The
and then
no
invaders. That's kind of weird.
invaders. Yeah, that's so weird. They could make fun of them for that.
Spades. I mean, I know it'd be aces and spades. I mean, whatever.
Ace.
But like,
That'd be actually pretty cool. If it
That'd be
happened that
funny, man.
they split an arena, the
The
aces,
aces and
spades
spades.
play
yeah,
That's cool. You
I
see,
think
man.
you could play it off there. You know, I mean, the same.
Oh man. Yeah, because for sure, like it has to be some casino related. You
It
can't
has
go
to
into like
be
mafia
casino
shit,
or
but
desert related. Casino
or
or
desert
desert.
related.
You know, I think
That's
Scorpion
cool.
would be cool. If I'm really like, I think Scorpion sounds badass. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, man. You gotta have a team that, like, especially like in those sports,
I could
like
get behind that shit. You know, or like, let's think. What was the other one I said? I said Spades, Scorpions,
Bane
um,
Scorpions. I said
the
bandits, gladiators.
Bandits,
Uh,
Gladiators could be cool because
something
you
that
got
fits the
Caesars or
desert. The
Lions.
Raiders,
I
as
kind of
much
like
as that
Lions.
could be, that doesn't really fit because they're pirates. They come from the Bay.
exactly. that's
I,
that's the thing.
Lions could be cool because when they score, you can do a roar. You know, when it gets
Those
crazy,
are
you know,
cool.
like they
Those
can
are
do
cool.
a roar. You know, that'd be sick.
Well,
You know,
Justin, they're getting the athletics too, man. They're getting the A's.
That's right.
So the Las Vegas A's, like
Not
those are the
official, but most likely.
most not official, right? But man,
Yeah,
tell
I'll
me,
have a bunch of A's fans if I say something like that in my ear saying it's not
oh,
official yet.
but how can Oakland? Oh man, is this Justin? Since you're in the West Coast, and Neil, maybe obviously you're closer there as well. I would like to understand this. Is that just the city not stepping up to make sure they don't lose their team, or was the owners manipulating the city just to get out of there?
It sounds like it's been both parties. The owners
Right?
clearly have enough money, but then the politicians are like, "No, we're not going to approve this budget to build a new
yeah.
stadium." So
The
the
fan
sword's
base is
got
also
two
just
sharp
not.
sides.
The fan base just isn't really great there anymore for the baseball team, at least. I mean, no one goes to those games, and so the owner obviously
And the
wants to move.
Coliseum,
Yeah, I mean, those
man,
seats
the
are.
Coliseum.
It's the biggest eyesore in sports. It's
Oh my
disgusting.
God. And it's funny because obviously speaking from experience, I used to watch games at Joe Robbie and pro player here, and it was when it was a baseball stadium, you felt so empty because like it was massive, it was empty half the time, and the sun was just like beaming at you, like you were melting in those seats. Like those 1 o'clock games that I used to go to, like on
Yeah,
Sundays or whatnot. It's like,
Mhm.
oh my God, it was
dude, I
unbearable.
remember when before
It's
Hard Rock. I
uncanny.
remember when it was Land Shark and they hadn't renovated yet.
Yeah.
Dude, sitting in the 300
Oh, it was
was
horrible. It was horrible, man. It was. I
miserable.
mean, as a kid, you loved it, but as a teenager, man, I would go to games by myself sometimes, like during the weekday when I would get off work, and I still had time, and I was like maybe like 17, 18. I'll go catch a Marlins game. The tickets would cost you like $4, and you can
Yeah,
walk. Like I would buy the tickets in the upper deck and just walk. Like in the third or fourth inning, I was sitting like by the third baseline. But obviously, the experience when you go to like a real ballpark, and I know, for example, the deal it costs the city a lot of money, and
yeah.
obviously the Marlins are on the rise. But there's something cool about cozy baseball stadiums where it's
Oh yeah,
like
I saw a game
it
in Arlington
was
at the Ranger Stadium. It was
okay.
a big experience.
The new one, or the
Yeah, yeah.
okay,
I sat down. It was amazing. It was shade. It was nice. You know, like it was comfortable. You know, the aesthetics of the place were really
yeah.
nice. You know,
By the
versus
way,
like
game just
I
went
used to go watch
final.
ball.
Sorry to interrupt. Miami won 113-109.
Oh, final, perfect,
Yep.
When I used to watch
nice.
Marlins games, though, man, it was like, damn, it's hot. I'm uncomfortable. You know, it's old. You know, like it's not. The seats weren't great. Like
Yeah.
you know, what I mean? Like it just
Well,
wasn't.
one of the biggest things to me that was amazing, and have you been to the new Marlins ballpark or no?
No, I've not been to the new one.
Okay, when you walk, the cool thing about the Marlins ballpark that to me was so impressive, like when you're walking to the concession stands, you can still see the field completely, which is
That's
amazing. I'm
cool.
pretty sure,
Yeah.
I don't know if other
I like that.
stadiums are like that, but in baseball, I've only been to a few. But to me, I thought it was so amazing because as you're walking, and the concession stands are to your left. You turn the game is going on right there. There's no
That
walls
was what
dividing you.
SoFi was like. That's what I went to SoFi Stadium and I saw the Chargers play the Dolphins there. And that
Oh,
I
was
was there
okay.
too.
yeah. Like you
It's
could
dug
see.
into the ground like 100 feet down, and you walk
Yeah,
around. You can still kind of
it's
see. You
honestly
probably have
SoFi's
better
best
view.
stadium I've ever been to. It's amazing. Just because,
Mhm.
like you said, you're going to concessions. They've got all these bars everywhere.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
you see the field. You know,
You can see the field, man.
Great.
It was something so cool because we weren't used to it. And I remember even watching. I remember going to the Orange Bowl, and like I was telling my son because my son didn't know. I was explaining to him. Obviously, watching the Canes game, I'm like, it was funny the whole explanation of the Dolphins used to play at the Orange Bowl, and then the Dolphins got a new stadium, and then when the Marlins started, they played at the stadium where the Dolphins play.
Yeah.
The Dolphins still play at that stadium, but the Marlins stadium now is where the Orange Bowl used to be. So I lost them in that whole circle of explanation.
And now the Miami Hurricanes don't
And
play
now
there.
Miami
They play in the
don't play.
Dolphin Stadium.
You stop playing here. That sucks.
Yeah, we're going to talk more about the Miami Hurricanes on my college football show on this very
Yes.
network tomorrow. So
I'm
we'll
not
save
gonna-
that conversation.
I'm not gonna ruin anything, Justin, but I didn't sleep Saturday. I don't know. I was actually texting one of my friends. Text me, and he's like, "I cannot believe what I am watching," and I'm like,
I
"Bro,
can't believe what I saw. That's all I'm
like-
going to say.
I'm not gonna ruin anything for you." It was a very hard night. I legit didn't go to sleep until like 4:30 in the morning. I'm not joking. I'm not exaggerating. It was one of those that you're staring at it, and then you're looking around, and you're like, "Did that just fucking happen? Like, did that really just happen right in front of my face?" And you felt it too. You felt it.
I will say, at least Hurricane fans have the privilege of feeling that way about a game. I'm a Florida Gator, and I mean, has been.
I'm a UCF Knight, and I'm having a really
I
bad
went to
time.
undergrad at UCF, and it's like I went to undergrad at UCF, and I went to law school in Florida. So both of my teams, it's like we got
Or
like
just
I didn't know you went to UCF. That's cool.
wow, it's pretty cool. It's funny if you went at the same time. When did you go to UCF, Neil?
I went to UCF from 2000 and so I graduated high school 2010 to 2013. And so I survived the winless year, and then I left the year before we won every game.
You won every game.
So
Holy shit! So it was a whole thing.
Yeah, and then I went to, and so I was there when the bars around on East Colonial were giving out free beers until we won a game, and we didn't win a single game. So we would go from.
They went back.
But that was 2016. When were you there again? That was 15
no,
and
that was when I was there. 2010, 2013. We had a year there where they were offering free drinks. Because unfortunately we had a couple of years there where we were really bad.
My senior year, there was a bar that was giving the same thing, but it was in downtown Orlando.
Yeah, no, it was on a university. There was a bar on university that was giving away free drinks until like at 10 or 11, something, or midnight maybe, until we won a game, and we didn't win a single game.
Oh man, so you probably remember the Plaza way more than I remember the Plaza.
Yeah, I mean the Plaza. It was legit the Plaza when I was there. I mean, Fubar was still there. Debs was there, and Fubar actually closed my senior year, I believe, is when Fubar finally closed. But
right, so you were a senior and I was a freshman.
Probably, yeah, probably.
Wow, you see,
and I was yeah, and then I went to Florida for law school right after that. So from 2014 to 2017, I was in law school.
In law school there, okay, and then you just moved straight to San Antonio.
Yeah, so I was in Orlando for 3 years, then I went to Gainesville for 3 years, and in Gainesville, shit, it was terrible. We had Will Muschamp, trash. Greg McElwain, trash. Dude, I mean. It's like I couldn't get good college football.
You left one situation before it got good, and then you arrived to one situation when it got bad.
The situation was terrible. I mean, the only good game that I saw when I was at Florida was when we beat LSU.
Oh my God! And you got to San Antonio while the Spurs were rebuilding.
And then I got to say, well, okay, but I also lived here. When they were dominating because I graduated high school here.
Oh, okay, cool. So you got to experience it.
Yeah, I mean. But I also got to experience the Heat beat the Spurs in the finals. And I was here when that, and it was like a summer. I came back during undergrad, and I remember just going outside my house and screaming when Ray Allen hit the shot. It's not over.
Oh, I was at a camp in the middle of Texas with a room full of Spurs fans ready to celebrate. And I'm there with me and like one or two other people rooting for the Heat right in the front of the TV. And when that happens, everyone's hearts collectively drops. And we're like, oh my God.
That's their souls, dude. That's their souls.
And those Spurs fans weren't used to losing. That was the thing. So that felt even better. They're nice people, but they deserve to feel like what we felt like in 2011.
They're trash fan base. I can tell you stories. No, so
they never lost the finals to that point.
People have this romanticized view of the Spurs fan base. I'll tell you, they're dirty. They're a dirty fan base. They don't even care. No, they are, man. Especially in the 300s, bro. Because the Spurs stadium is in the ghetto, dude. It's in it's in a bad part of town, dude.
How did that end up? Are they going to build them a new one officially or no?
I think they are, and I think they're going to put it downtown. But it's going to take a while, man. I mean, the city does not give the money very easily, man. They're very stingy. With the money.
And the problem is it's relatively new. But I know, for example, Kaseya Center here in Miami is going through some upgrades because the Heat are there. I mean, we built that, what was it, 99, 2000? Yeah. So it's an old arena. It's 23 years old, but still the way where it's located.
You can't beat that.
You can't beat that, man. You can't beat it. So it's like you keep it there, you refurbish it, you remodel, and that's it.
Spurs did a massive renovation on the AT&T Center, which now I think it's like the Frostbank Center or something like that.
Yeah, Frostbank,
They did a massive renovation to it, and now since they got Wemby, they're going to build a new stadium. But they really have to, man, because it's in a terrible part of town, and you can't get people over there easily. You know, it needs to be downtown. They got to put it.
Which makes me a little curious. Is that how they ended up with the number 1 pick this year to entice them to up the value of this franchise, to put it downtown?
No, I think they rigged it.
It's funny. It's funny how these ping pong balls bounce just the right way when you need them.
Well, for example, Ernst & Young is doing it, and Ernst & Young does business here. I'm just going to say that, okay?
Of course.
It's a little weird, you know, where
and the French connection with Tony Parker, Boris Diaw, both played in San Antonio.
That was like in 2003 if LeBron would have ended up anywhere other than Cleveland.
I will say that Wemby saved the Spurs in San Antonio because if Wemby hadn't come here, that team would be going to Austin for sure.
Mm-hmm. There was rumors of it going to Austin.
Oh yeah, they're already playing games in Austin every year. They're trying to bring the Austin crowd to San Antonio. And I think that if Wemby hadn't come here, the fan base was going to give up on them because, you know, this fan base is very spoiled. And if the team isn't good, they weren't going to the games, dude.
Yeah, of course. They're just used to something winning.
And remember how they always said, we always sell out our arena. We always have our fans show up in the right colors. We don't need to give out shirts at our playoff games.
No.
It's just arrogance that nobody talks about that I couldn't stand.
Yeah, it's funny. It's funny because I know they talk mad shit about Miami fans.
Even with Wemby, they still can't sell out season tickets. Okay, if Wembanyama had been in Miami, season tickets was sold out the nights of the nights.
Yeah.
You know, Dolphins, we sold out season tickets as soon as we got Tyreek. It didn't even matter. You know, it was like gone.
When you got Messi too. When we got Messi,
they sold out.
Messi season ticket renewals. I have a bunch of friends that have season tickets. The renewals doubled. I know there was that sequence that they tripled the prices. That was a mistake. They were just quoting double seating, but the prices double. Oh yeah, man! But everybody's gonna renew.
He's going to be here another year, and then he's gonna go somewhere else.
But the problem is everybody's gonna renew because you get dibs to the new stadium. They already cut off the Melreese Golf Club. Like they already closed that down. And they're gonna do the brand new the Freedom Park there. You renew, you get first dibs to the season tickets when the stadium opens. So it's a win-win. But it's insane what Messi has done here in Miami. Like obviously it's Messi, so you see that in the global effect.
I put 50 down on them winning the MLS Cup, and I lost.
Oh, don't worry about it. Next year. Now there's rumors of supposedly Luka. What is it, Modric?
Modric.
So this is gonna be it's seismic. I don't know. By the way, if you guys have seen the Beckham, the Netflix special on Beckham,
I haven't seen it yet, but I might need to check it out.
It's really cool in the whole transition from Madrid to LA Galaxy, AC Milan, and that seismic move when he moved to MLS. Messi is that move on steroids because we got the World Cup coming to
Yeah.
the Americas. So
Yeah.
it's going to be, and soccer is at an all time high here. I don't
Yeah.
know if in other places, but in
And they're
Miami,
building a stadium, aren't they, in Miami?
yes, yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
You wonder why
Well,
Messi
the World Cup is going to be in
coincidentally
the
in that
Americas,
town.
Yeah.
and then it's going to be in South America. I believe the 4 years after that, right? Didn't South America get the rights?
Well, no, well, we have the Americas. The World Cup is going to be South America, North America, and Canada.
Well,
So,
Mexico. I thought it's Mexico,
Mexico.
United States, and Canada. But then in 2028, I thought it was going to be
It's
South
in
American.
Europe and in South America.
Yeah,
It's
and
going to
then
be multiple spots.
2032 is going to be the European one.
But
Gotcha.
wait,
Okay.
wasn't the World Cup in 2022? So wouldn't that mean 2026 and
2026 is it going to be
Yeah.
2026 and then
It's going to be
2020.
Canada, Mexico, and USA.
2030. 2030.
2030 is in South America, and
Yeah,
then
'cause the Olympics are coming here to
2024,
LA in 2028.
Sucks, but it
Oh,
doesn't
man.
matter. I don't need to think that far ahead. Let's just think about the next 8 years. It's gonna be great. I'm already.
It's going to be
saving up.
amazing.
Let's live in
It's
the
gonna be
now.
Dude,
The
get
Heat are
set,
still in the
get
championship,
so for
right?
anyone listening, okay, you got to get on the U.S. Soccer Club membership, Team USA membership. Buy the cheapest membership and hold on to that. It's like $50 for the year because the only way that you can buy tickets to the World Cup games is if you're a member.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes.
Wow.
So
Do that right now.
So you got to be a member of the U.S. Men's
because
Federation.
you get deals. So the way to do it is this. This is the foolproof way that me and my friends have figured this out. You get the cheap membership, the $50 one, right? Right now we're 2023, okay?
Yeah.
You buy that, then you buy in 2024, you buy the cheap one. In 2025, you upgrade, okay, to like either the $100 a year or the $500 a year, okay? You do one of those because it's a sliding scale. The higher the membership, the higher the priority, okay?
Got you.
You just have to make sure that it's how serious you are. You know what I mean? Like, so like my plan is I've got the $50 one last year. I have it this year. I'm going to buy it one more year. In 2025, I think I'm going to buy the $500 membership. And then in 2026, I'll have that and I'll be able to have priority on tickets. So I can buy.
And then 2026, we call Neo. Neo, I need 2 tickets. I'll pay you whatever you do upcharge.
Let's just figure it out, dude. Just that's it. Anyone listening, write that down. Don't forget that. That's how you do it.
That's one of my bucket lists. I would love to go to a World Cup game.
Dude,
That to me is.
dude, I mean, God, this is the only chance, dude. It's here. Like think about it. It's like it doesn't matter what stadium I'll drive.
You'll drive, yeah. For sure, they're gonna play a game in Texas,
actually,
right?
I really want to go to a game in Mexico City or Monterrey. Like that's kind of where I'm leaning to. Dude, the stadium in Monterrey is sick. I don't know if you've seen pictures of it.
Top notch, yeah.
It's in the mountain range, and you can see the mountains from the seats.
Those stadiums are beautiful, man. Those stadiums are beautiful.
Mexico City would be dope, dude. So international, But then, like, Dallas is gonna have some games, and
LA
for sure.
For sure.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Those are the things. I know they were trying to negotiate who's gonna get the World Cup final. I know Dallas got it.
Dude, it's going to be because Infantino was at the Cowboy game. Like, he was getting some.
Oh yeah, Jerry Jones is gonna have his words.
Because I know Ross is trying to get him. Ross is trying to get him.
Yeah, but it's over, dude. Jerry already won that shit. When Infantino went to that game, he got paid there. Okay.
Oh, of course. And we're gonna get a Netflix special like 10 years from now.
To make it official. We're gonna get a Netflix special. It's brown on
for sure.
But Jerry's smarter, bro. Jerry's smarter, dude. Than that.
It's funny how like all these sporting events, like we know the corruption, but you can only talk about it like 10 years down the line. Like it's happening. Like it's going on.
Like,
it's just like, oh yeah, no, we'll just turn the eye. Like,
there's a saying here in Texas about Jerry Jones is that like if you're in a room with Jerry Jones, he's not the sucker in the room.
Of course not.
Of course not. There's a sucker in the room, and it's not Jerry.
Neil, if you as a lawyer, you ever have to walk into a room and you have to negotiate with Jerry Jones, like how do you feel? Like at that point, you just walk out.
I hope you're on that side. Hope you're on that side.
That must suck, man.
Yeah, probably the most powerful man in Texas. That's not the governor.
Yeah,
that's crazy, man. That is crazy.
He's
probably even more powerful than the governor. Man, Jerry's the most powerful person in the whole NFL. Like I
Yeah,
know
Yeah,
Goodell's the
nothing gets
commissioner.
past him unless Jerry approves.
Nothing. I'm like, damn.
San Antonio will
But
never get a team here. It sucks, but we'll never get a team because of him.
Hmm.
of course,
And
for
I'm
sure.
curious if he'll be alive for the World Cup when it comes here.
Hey
I
man,
mean, he's not
that
that bad.
man's
He's
a
not that
robot.
bad. He looks
That man's a
fine.
robot.
Mhm.
He's a
Yeah.
I
man.
hope
That
he'll be
man's
okay. I'm just saying that he's getting up there.
that man
He
doesn't
is,
even
but I
eat
mean,
or anything.
yeah.
He's like a hybrid already.
Mhm.
That guy just he sleeps like in a lab.
Dude, think about it. Red McCombs lived till he was like 93. You know what I mean? Like, and
Mhm.
so Jerry, like, Jerry, he's not that. He's not in the. He's not. I don't. He's
He's
probably in his
80.
late 70s.
He'll be 81
He's
in a couple days, actually.
Okay, so
holy
he's
shit,
got
man.
another 20 years, dude.
And to me, what's so cool, man. He's literally everything in Dallas. Like he's still the GM. Like he literally controls that whole team. I know he has advisors and assistant GMs, his son, and the scouts and the coaching staff, but he literally runs that whole organization by himself.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh man, and he's 81 years old. There's some people in homes at 81s, and he's running America's team. But
Dylan, dude.
which America's team took a beating by your team over there, Justin.
They're not good. They're not good. Like, that's just what it is. Like, they lost Trayvon Diggs. Their defense took a massive step
Their defense is
backwards.
a little bit
And
overrated.
they just lost
Yeah.
Leighton Vanderbesh.
Yes.
Leighton
Yes.
Vanderbesh.
Did he get put in IR?
Offensively, Dak is not good. Like, I mean, I think it's time people look in the mirror and realize that, like, he's
He's
a
decent,
middle of
but
the
is he a
road
Super Bowl quarterback?
He's
Exactly.
He's just not the guy who's going to take you to the next level.
Picks
No.
on 3 straight
No.
drives. You are not a good quarterback.
No. Oh man. But we're here at the 47-minute mark. All right, we kept it long. And look at that. We started talking basketball. We ended up talking about Jerry Jones and dominating Dallas and no team in Austin or San Antonio. But I want to thank Moment. Obviously, remember to like, share, subscribe here at the Fins Talk Sports Network. We have an exciting week actually. Bobby's coming into town, so he's going to be here at the Dolphins game. We might do a show live. Oh, he's going to do many shows live. I might jump on these 10th Street Boys. So if you guys are available, you can jump on with us. And Fast Break will be, I'm almost 100% sure we'll have an episode next Tuesday. I'll confirm during the week. But if you guys are available, always loving having you here. So any final words, Justin?
Sending my prayers to everyone in Israel and Palestine. Please stay
Yes.
safe out there. I know a lot of family, friends, and friends who are out there. Unfortunately, some of them have lost their lives already. We just hope that everything's okay and then that peace comes upon us.
Yeah, very true. Very true, Justin. Neil, any final words?
Let's just get another Miami Dolphins dub this weekend, okay? And I'm really excited to see the Heat play Friday. I hope they stay healthy during the preseason so we can see some Miami Heat basketball and, fins up, heat up.
Hey, and just to follow up, and for Neil follow up, times we're living are tough all around the world, obviously magnified by the current situation. And from all of us here at the network, I know sports sometimes is kind of like a moment to forget about those things and to live and to enjoy. But I also believe sports tie you down to what is really important in life. And I understand the times that we're living, but communication, even in fandom, even amongst teams of, if you're a fan of opposite teams, like even the fights that we're seeing in some of these stadiums, like people forget this is a life. We're just watching a sport for fun. Like, yes, it's a profession and we have history of fandom, but even like in other countries, and I know we'll go off a little bit off the record there, we talk about sports, but I believe we should be as advanced as our technology is, where we can communicate, we can share different points of views, we can find resolutions with our words. I mean, I don't know who's ever listening or whatnot, but any problem, any situation going on in your life, obviously there's some things that are grander that we have no control over. But bro, if you're a fan of a different team, if you have a different point of view, just talk about it, share it, enjoy it, and just respect each other and appreciate each other. Just like look at us. We all come from different ethnical backgrounds, religious backgrounds. We grew up in different places, and we're here talking about a common goal. We're talking about a team that we like, something that unites. So I do hope sports and the world is united in those regards. No matter what you follow, no matter what your guiding light is, no matter what your God is, like there has to be some unity across. So I just wanted to follow up with that, Justin, what you said. Many prayers, obviously, from all of us here at FTSN, and just peace and love, man. It really is. Not being a hippie, just true. Peace and love, bro. Love each other and enjoy each other's time. We don't know how much time we have. So, all right, Miami. That was our spiel. For Neil, for Justin, I am Alex. Thank you much for tuning in. Until next time, Heat Nation, and always, fins out.